Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic episode of SkillBunkers Highs and Lows. My name is Damilola Halije, and I'm your host for today. Yeah, so we are doing the Highs and Lows session, and today we have award-winning media personality Lolo Omotunde Adebowale David. That's a real name, popularly known as Lolo. Started a career as a legal practitioner after being called to bar in 2000. She worked in the law department before dropping in for media broadcasting in 2004. She's a Nollywood actress, a Nigerian radio presenter. She hosted the radio program Oga Madam on Wazobia FM 94.1 till 2095.1, sorry, till 2019, when she left to join Glasgow FM as the general manager and an on-air personality. Hello, Lala.
Yay! You like it when they read your citations and it's coming from a beautiful mouth. I love it.
Oh my God, God, let us do this session in peace where I will not laugh my heart out. God, I commit this to your hands.
Minus funny. I've thrown funny out. So let's kick it.
No, but we sing with the funny so it helps. Okay, so now the questioning. You've been in the media for over 15 years. What was the first day on the job like for you?
As an on-air personality or comedian?
Yeah, as an on-air personality.
Because comedian is just another side. For me, the first day of the job was a long time ago, I would say at Metro FM. That's where I cut my teeth as a radio broadcaster. I was terrified like everybody else because before then I had fantasized about TV, but radio called me, and when I answered, it was like the first time I was going to be meeting the mic. A lot of people actually think that meeting the mic is easy. It's very, very challenging. The mic is an instrument that is supposed to amplify your voice, but the scary part is you can't see who you're talking to. So that means you have to let your imaginations work to be able to project who you're talking to. By training, they just tell you that focus on one person that you like extremely well and pretend that that is the person that you're talking to. Yeah. And, there's a lot of things they tell you in training school, but when it comes to real life application, it ain't gonna work. No. For the first time, I can hear words like, I can hear your heart beating through the microphone. And I'm like, how is that happening? Of course, I was very anxious. I was, off my rockers, just wondering how I was going to be able to get through it. But the first day came and went, nothing incidental. At that time, you had the lead anchors. You just chipped in here and there. And, over the next 1 week, I would get a little more confident, a little more comfortable to see how it works. Because not only are you talking, you are learning the console itself too, the use of it, how to play music, how to connect. There's a lot going on in the hearts of a radio presenter when they're by the mic. It's not just about talking. So I'll say that my first day wasn't as incidental as I expected it was going to be. All those ones were going to come much later.
Wow. That's amazing. So as a media personality, you happen to do a lot of things, from radio presentation to television to acting and then comedy. Like, how are you able to combine all of this together? Just how, Lolo, are you able to do it all?
Yeah. This question is always interesting, and I love it when women ask me, because I think we're naturally endowed to do many things by creation. Women are natural multitaskers. And if you get to do what you love to do, exactly. My own experience, I don't know about everybody, but when you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work after a time because you thoroughly enjoy it. I always describe myself as an art form. An art form can express his or herself in many ways. I express myself through talking, dance, drama, poetry, presentation, writing, You know, so many things that an art lover or an art form can do. That's how I express myself. So everything that you see me do, I thoroughly enjoy every one of it. And it makes it easy for me to be able to do them. I always encourage people that make sure that whatever giftings you have or whatever expression you choose to have with it, you make sure that they are connected. You see, when I say art form, I see it like the tree. The tree is the art, A-R-T. But the branch has dance. Another branch has acting. Another branch has painting. Another branch has spoken word.
Word.
Another branch has motivation speaking. But all of them stem from one tree that is the art form. What makes it complex is when you begin to do things that are connected. I would want to use an extreme like you're a pilot and you also sell pepper. That's a bit extreme
Mm-hmm.
because that and this, they don't seem to go. Make sure that whatever you're doing, everything has a root that you can trace back. That is the all-encompassing thing that holds you together. So all these beautiful things you mentioned that I do, it stems from the fact that Omotunde Adebowale David is an art form, and she expresses herself this way, that way, that way. I know I might make it sound like it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, very tough. But that's why I tell people about setting priorities. You got to have it. I, as an entertainer, I have priorities and I follow through. Out of all these things, I still have motherhood to add to them. So you must learn to do priorities. No matter how talented you are or gifted, there are things you do better than some.
Another thing. Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct.
So what you
That's very
do,
good.
you put the things that you do better up. Then the ones you're still perfecting, you put them according to your level of perfecting them.
Perfection.
And you
Yeah,
find out that it gets easier
as the time goes on.
once you do that. What
Yeah.
makes a lot of us confused is that the things that you're doing, the root cause of the reason you're doing it is very important.
Mm.
I keep telling young broadcasters that, why are you a broadcaster? I've heard things like, I want to blow, I want to make money, I want to be famous. You see, those are the real issues, the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
money is your only motivation, you can't make it much because money would only answer to meeting a particular need
Mm.
or feeling a vacuum.
Yeah,
As
that's
long as
correct.
you're doing that, money is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as ABC. But
Mm-hmm.
it cannot be your only motivation. When
Correct.
I got on radio, one of the first things I said to myself was, I wanted to be someone that gave joy to people, that is able to transform their dreariness to joyfulness. I didn't even think of money. So
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me. Every time during my radio journey, I've heard life transforming testimonies, so to say, about listening to
Mm.
me as an on air personality. So imagine if money was my only motivation, then this won't be the
Motivation.
kind
Yeah.
of job you want to do. Because no matter how much you do broadcasting,
Mm.
I doubt if you can make your money from being employed as a broadcaster. Your big money comes from the other things that is attached to that foundation that is broadcasting. I hope that answers it.
Mm. Yeah, like that is like I don't even know how to top another question because you talked about being a broadcaster and how the kind of money you want to make might not really come from making money the motivation. But a lot of millennials like myself, young people who are trying to get into this industry, the first thing that comes to their mind is the fame. Why do you think that is like that? Why do you think people are more about the fame than doing the work? People of my generation, your own generation, you wanted to pay your dues. Unlike now, people do not believe in paying dues anymore. They just want to get it. Why do you think it's that way?
Well, the millennials are who they are. They were born in the time where everything is on a fast forward. But the only thing I would tell every millennial is that if you are truly intelligent, then you understand what is called the natural course of life. If you get pregnant today, no matter how excited you are about that pregnancy, all things working naturally, you would have to wait for 9 months to be able to birth a
But
child
comes out.
that is wholesome, that
Yeah,
is
that's true.
well developed. So that's what I keep telling
Mm-hmm.
millennials. I say, no matter how you want to fast forward things, you know that there will always be
Mm.
issues that will come from it. Look at GMOs. A lot of us want to grow pineapple in 2 days, but you know the downside
Mm-hmm.
of it is something you force to grow in that short time. It's never going to be as matured as you want it to be,
Okay.
as tasty as you want it to be. It's going to come with its own limitations. And the limitations are always detrimental to what the gains. I would tell anyone. I say one of the few things I know that people build from up to down is a grave. You start digging a grave from up to down. But most of the things that
Mm.
cause growth, a plant comes from the ground upward. I keep telling young people that no matter how you want to fast forward your life, you need to understand that there is something called the process of life,
Mm.
which you cannot hasten.
Yeah.
Every time you have tried to do it, it has worked against you.
True.
I've seen Yahoo boys make quick money. He has never bought a car. He doesn't even know what it takes to run one.
Yeah.
Of course, this young boy will get up because he got the money from maybe Yahoo, and
Mm-hmm.
he will buy a Bentley. And he forgot that Bentleys, to those that buy it, is a luxury car. It's not the car that
Yeah.
you drive from Okoko to VI every day. It's a car you drive when
Yeah.
you have accomplished. You take it from
Mm-hmm.
home being Lucky One to Ikoyi Club
Mm-hmm.
and back.
Mm-hmm.
He would not know
Yeah.
that one light on a Bentley can buy an almost a Toyota Corolla. You see,
For
he
child.
didn't think.
Child.
He just
Yeah.
has money. So I keep begging
Mm.
millennials that you need to understand that there is something called the process of life. You
Right.
can't escape it.
Mm.
Every time I've seen people circumvent it, it comes with even a higher price. That when on a rethink,
Right.
you'd have rather stayed through the process to get to where you're going. I think
Where
it's
you're
an
supposed to
age
go.
thing,
Mm.
but I keep saying that no matter
Yeah.
how fast you think your generation is, you have to engage your mind, rewire your mind to understand that instead of running through the physical hoops, why don't you run through the mental hoops? You can mature yourself mentally while you allow the process of life to happen,
To
so that the
happen.
superior wisdom you have gained, you'll be able to apply to every process as
Word.
they come. So that means where people stumbled, you probably would not, because you
Mm-hmm.
have done what? You have acquired knowledge before you even
Right.
got there. A lot of you now can Google how to be a mother, and you will see A to B to C to D to D this. There are so many things that you can do now that we were not privy to. You might not be having a baby soon. You might not be getting married soon, but there's nothing that stops you from getting the knowledge. So that
Yeah.
when that is
That's
about
true.
to happen, you know what to expect. That doesn't mean you have to rush through it.
Yeah.
You just have to gain knowledge to know how to walk through it.
Through the
Aeronautics have
process
taught us
of
everything
life.
we need to know. The aerodynamics of a plane means you
Mm.
will do the runway at varying speed until it gets to a particular speed that enables your lift. But if you do not achieve that, you're going to crash. Simple as
Yeah.
ABC.
Simple as ABC. So, Lolo, why is it important for you to continue to update your skills as a broadcaster? things are changing, things are evolving. But why is it important for you as a broadcaster to continue to evolve your skills?
Hmm. It's extremely important because the world is constantly transient. Nothing is static. If you do not update yourself, then you become obsolete. And obsolete means nobody has use for you. You can no longer compete adequately. Do you know, as a broadcaster that has been broadcasting for more than 20 years, in recent times, I've had to upgrade myself constantly about new music, new artists, what's going on around me in entertainment, even though some of them don't interest me. But because my listeners are varied,
Very,
I
yeah.
have to keep myself educated. And another thing is, it's like a farm. If you don't cultivate it, it will be filled with weed and unwanted plants that will choke out the things that are good for you. So there's nobody that wants to survive in this millennial that educating your mind is not key. I grew up with, at least when I was growing up, people were still using IBM typewriters.
Yeah.
It will still be stupid and foolish at this age to say the only knowledge I have is from the IBM typewriters, where people have moved on to computers, to software applications that are changing every day. As a broadcaster that I've worked in a couple of stations, do you know that broadcast software is different in every station? That means the one I
Yeah.
used in Wazobia is different from the one I'm using in Lasgidi FM. So that
Yeah.
means you need to constantly keep your mind busy. You need to constantly keep your mind used. If you do not upgrade your mind, then why would anybody want to glean wisdom off you?
Hmm.
Look at the application we're talking on. If this was post-COVID, SkillBunker probably would have had a physical meeting today.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd have had to get up from home, drive
Yeah,
maybe to Victoria Island to
that's
have
true.
this same conversation that we're
That we could
able to
have left.
have. Can you imagine? That is part of educating yourself, constantly upgrading yourself. Imagine when you guys called me, I said, I don't know what Zoom is. What's Zoom? What's Instagram? You'll be wondering
Yeah.
that, this auntie is really mommy. Oh. Do you know
Mm.
even my mother, that is 78, she knows how to use social media.
Amazing.
Because of COVID, she can't go to church, she can't relate with her friends. We had to teach her how to use WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
Now she can do her own videos, she can converse with her friends. You know, we've taught her Zoom, she talks with her group.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you're alive,
Yeah.
even computer, every time your phone is always updating itself.
It's always up.
Because the
Lolo,
OS
good.
or the iOS you used last
Yeah.
year probably
Yeah.
has newer functions. And if you
Yeah.
are not upgrading, you cannot know what's new. So I don't even think
Amazing.
it's a question of why. It's a must. If you want to
Hmm.
survive, if you want to live, then you must upgrade. It's a must. Even it's not negotiable.
Yeah, definitely correct. That's very, very. I don't even think that should be something that we should negotiate about. No, it's a must to update yourself all the time. So we would like to learn from you any form of challenges that you had when you started your career that made you feel like, hey, it's like media is not going to work, or it's like I'm going to have to switch on to something else. What were those things that felt like it was a stumbling block for you, and how did you manage it?
Damilola, you know, I'm
Yeah,
one of those weird people that
yeah,
I see challenges for what it is. It's supposed to challenge you. When something challenges you, it's not negative. What it just means is that thing came to test you. If you know something,
something.
it challenges, okay, is this thing white? Then it watches your reaction. So the reaction you give to it will determine whether that thing will become an issue or you're just going to surmount it. I
Hmm.
faced every challenge everybody can face, from not being sure of yourself. I tell people, don't look at it like, oh, those people there, they've never had challenges. There have been many times I've held the microphone in my life that I've felt scared. What am I going to say? Would the people that I'm conversing with, would they respond to me? Would they accept me? Would I be able to, communicate what's in my mind to them? Of course, I've been afraid. I've been criticized. National dailies. Maybe in my own time when I started, the internet was not even buzzing like now that there's WhatsApp, there's even Instagram. I made a mistake pronouncing a name while reading the news for Cool FM that year. Somebody went to write an editorial about me, that how could a newsreader mistake a name?
Wow.
I would have imploded, but I saw it as a pickup. I went ahead. That's probably one of the things that helped me to be able to pronounce names. So now, hardly would I say names challenge me. Even to those Grecian names, all those Kinikopolos, that is such a mouthful. But when you know that your career depends on this, you better pronounce Papilopoulos and do it very well.
Very, very.
Exactly. So I've experienced fear, but every time fear comes, it's just two ways to react to it. Either you allow the fear cripple you, or you allow the fear to give you wheels to run. I've been criticized very well. There have been days when I started out on Wazobia. People have said, they'll call, you'll hear listeners say, who is that person? Is that how to speak pidgin? Will you get that woman out of the studio? What's she saying? And I'll be like, what do I do? I'll come to work the next day with that mindset that the person that said this yesterday, I want to give the person a better thing to say today. That's how I overcome those challenges. I've been depressed like everybody else on the job. Oh, all of you thought, once you get as a broadcaster, you just start rolling in money. Oh, Of course, those things don't happen that way. I've had my own fear of depression. And you overcome it because you know that these things that seemingly challenge you, they don't come to stay. They are just passing through. So you must treat challenges of life, of career, as what it is, transient. It's constantly moving. No matter how much you hate yesterday, no matter how much you loved yesterday, it's going to still pass. So I can't begin to tell you myriads and myriads of stories. There are many. Have you ever anchored an event that they will actually take the microphone off you?
Oh my.
Have you anchored an event that you will pronounce a name that was wrongly spelled for you? And you have to be showing the person, I'm so sorry, sir. I would not have murdered your name, but this was what was spelled for me.
What was spelled for you? Wow.
You see? So what kind of industry challenge have I not faced? The only thing I've done every time is to tell myself that I can do better.
Do better.
I can do better. I've been scared, I've been anxious. In fact, many times as a broadcaster, do you know that people actually expect you to know everything, Damilola?
Yeah,
I've had a radio listener call me and ask me about his dog. I'm not a veterinary. I'm not an animal doctor, but that is how knowledgeable they expect you to be. Thank God that I am disposed to, watching maybe Animal Planet. As a broadcaster, reading and gleaning knowledge is what you do all your life. That was how I was able to ask the person intelligent questions like, how big is your dog? And they say, oh, it's a small dog, it's a Lhasa. Then I ask him, what kind of diet do you give your dog? He says, anything we don't finish eating, we'll give you the dog. Whether bone or anything. Then I went on to tell them that, their gut is small. That means they cannot process bones and all those things like big dogs can. So maybe that is what is constipating your dog. Why don't you go to a vet for them to check the dog out? And people will be like, how did you know that? That kind of thing could have made another listener look at me like, she's so dumb.
Yeah.
People would
That's very
ask
true.
me, oh, please, when is WAEC result coming out? They would ask you political questions. I
Mm.
don't like sports, but I have to keep abreast of it because if Europa Cup, Europa League is on, you need to know who Real Madrid is, who Liverpool is, who Bayern Munich is. Even though I don't care about it, but it is a part of your job.
Part of the job.
So I keep telling people that despite the challenges that come, read wide and read wild, because those are the things that will help you overcome challenges as a broadcaster.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And
Word.
another thing you must never fail to do is
Yeah.
research.
Research.
Anytime you are faced with a new thing, you need to research it. I've been privileged to talk from presidents to vice presidents to governors. I've interviewed them in my time. The day I was going to be interviewing the then governor of Lagos State, by Governor Babatunde Fashola, who is now a senator, I had to prepare, because I was going to be in a panel with English-speaking people,
Mm-hmm.
and I was supposed to marshal my own points in pidgin. By the time I asked questions, there was ovation in the crowd because I was ready.
Mm.
By the time I asked the man, oh my God, Governor Babatunde Fashola would look at me like, what do you say your name was? I said, Lolo one.
Yeah.
You see? But challenges will keep coming.
Mm.
Don't look at it based on, oh, this happened to me. It has happened to the best of us.
For the best of
The only
us.
thing is you can determine how you feel or how you react to those challenges. And that's the most important.
Most
I do
important
my
thing.
best to keep a positive attitude every time, no matter how challenged I am. And that's what's
Mm.
going to help everyone to overcome their challenges.
Wow. Thank you for that, Lolo. Let's talk about how far you've come. Now, you just recently started a management role at Las FM. That is, from you're not just an on-air personality. You're now a general manager. just,
Uh,
just how excited did that make you feel, and how has the journey been? Just talk us through it.
yeah. Of course, I'd spent, the major part of my career with Wazobia FM. And, for us as broadcasters, our job is so unique that there's nowhere to go except where you are.
Hmm.
The only thing as an OAP is you get older with experience. But our job doesn't come with maybe too many climbs, except you're either stepping out of broadcasting and doing something else.
Something else.
But, I love radio so much. When this opportunity came calling, I was so excited because I'll be moving up career-wise, and at the same time, I'll still have the opportunity to
Do
do
what you
what I enjoy doing, which is broadcasting. I can choose to do my administrative work and I'll still be okay. But it gives me the opportunity to do both. And for people that know me, I love nurturing. It's one of the things that give me a lot of joy. So now I have the grace to be able to build stars, to build a new crop of broadcasters that
Mm.
is going to become, those that are going to be named in the industry. So that makes me particularly happy. And now I have more responsibility. A lot of people think that, oh, every time you get a career elevation, the money is good. Yeah, those things are good. But what
Yeah.
I focus on is the achievement that you have to achieve. And that means more work.
Mm.
Dealing with people on a daily basis is very challenging. But now I have to focus on building people, building the station, working on content. It's a lot of work, trust me. And
Mm.
it doesn't have holiday, it doesn't have break times. Even as
Right
I'm
there.
here, the radio station is still working. Everything
Yeah.
happening there, I know.
Mm.
So I see the job as another opportunity for me to become a phenomenon again.
Mm.
Not only would I be evolving as a person, I'll be helping other people
Other
evolve
people to
also.
evolve. Yeah.
So that's more exciting for me as a person
Mm. Mm.
than even the other perks that comes with the job.
Yeah.
Let us always address our minds to the higher the perks, the more challenges.
The more
the
challenging.
more responsibility.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm, yeah. That's really good. There's something I've learned you say over time since you've been talking about nurturing people, helping people, bringing other people along. It seems like it's very, very important to you, impacting in other people's lives. Why?
Yes. It is for me because I think I'm just called to nurture. I found out that, for a lot of people that consider themselves good, we're all a creature of nature and nurture. If we are nurtured well, you find out that everything that we think is negative would have been corrected long before.
No.
Investing in your generation, in the next set of people, that is what makes a house very strong, the
Mm,
foundation. And if the foundation is strong, I want Nigeria to be better. But the people that will be making it better are within your clan. So if they are not getting experience and nurture, how do they want to get and do what they need to do?
they need to do.
For me, investing in people is more than investing in material things.
Mm,
Material things are nothing, but people, they are the ones that can make material things something. So when the people are okay, well trained, well nurtured, then we'll be having a better society eventually. Everybody's life will be better.
mm,
It's only those that do not understand what is called posterity that hoard
yeah.
knowledge to themselves. But posterity means that the leadership qualities I have, I'm able to burst it in everyone that listens to me. That's blessed. That's the beauty for me as a
Yeah.
person.
As a person,
Exactly. And
which
that's
I
what I
think
think
every
will
other person should
sustain it.
imbibe. Yeah, which I
Exactly.
think every other person should. Let's talk about the pandemic. Coronavirus struck in March. A lot of people were not expecting it. We were not even thinking it was going to come to Nigeria, but it eventually did. And you happen to be an essential worker because you work in the media. So you were on top of giving information about the virus, how everything was working. How were you able to stay creative in all of this, knowing that a lot of people had to stay in their own homes, but you do not get the chance to stay at home, to also be with your family, to stay safe like every other person? So
Yeah.
how were you able to stay creative doing all of this?
For me, it's a job I've done for years. Do you know how important radio is to everyone? Radio seems to be that thing that gives people joy, keeps them sane. Do you know good music can actually change your mood?
Mm,
So for
mm,
me, when we sit on that chair, we're like doctors. You are dishing out psychology. You are
yeah.
dishing out psychiatry because you are working on the mentality of people. I
Mm,
see myself as somebody that can actually, I saw those times as this is the time you can be there for everyone. And the first thing I wanted to be able to do is to give people adequate and good information.
mm,
That is one of the tenets of broadcasting. A lot of fake news were flying up and down. And the way you can keep people's mind calm is by dishing out the real deal, as in good information. And I was happy to do it because you were the one everybody was turning to.
that's very
So
true.
if you do not step up, then why are you there? Played good music, made sure that entertainment was on, the information people needed, the companionship. On radio, people see you as different things.
Yeah.
Some see you as a counselor. To some people, you are their motivator,
Mm,
being a sister to some, friend to some, lover to some, encourager. It's everything you can imagine. We're even pastors to some. So
yeah.
how you see it. And that's what
Mm.
we all did and stepped up. And I didn't even see it as a big deal.
That was really, really fantastic for you and your team to have done. And to still be doing because we're still in the process of getting
Yeah.
over COVID and we haven't. Now a lot of young people seem to be finding themselves during this time of the coronavirus. A lot of people are now repositioning their lives, trying to know what exactly it is they want to become in life. What would your advice be to those kind of people, who are trying to find
Well,
us now?
I take that with a pinch of salt. I just think everybody is following a bandwagon. If it's about self-discovery, some people are discovering themselves, but some are just pressured to doing what everybody is doing.
Mm.
That's what I'm seeing all over the place. And we have to be very careful so that you are not just following the band, you are not following the band. And no matter how far you follow the band, if you are not part of the band, you are not the band. So the band
Mm.
will still leave you behind. So please, if truly, truly you are discovering yourself, keep at it. Keep honing your skills. Skills and talent we're born with. But what sets us apart is the amount of honing and
Honest.
fine-tuning you do to your skill. That's what makes you better than every other person. So
That's
if you are
correct.
truly discovering yourself, please continue to do that. But if you are
Mm.
following the bandwagon, please take a step back and find out exactly what you need to do and
Mm.
do it. Or
Mm.
else you just find out that a couple of years have passed and you haven't made anything out of your life.
Anything out of it. Amazing, Lolo. So let's talk about the things that
I
you
thought you
still.
were going to say finally.
There's just one more. There's just no. There's just two more to go. This question and then one very last question. So what I just wanted to ask quickly was, what are the things that still being on radio, it still seems like you have to learn every day? Is it the people? Is it about the job? Or what's that one thing as a broadcaster that still seems like you're still learning every time?
Every day you're learning. There's
Mm,
hardly any time that you know it all.
mm,
Because even if it is stories, as it's unfolding, is new to you. So you have
yeah.
to present it new. Do you know your software is always troubleshooting every day? That you have
Mm-hmm.
to learn things about it every day. New
Mm,
music is coming out every day. Like recently, I
mm-hmm.
had to quickly know who Fireboy was, who Joe Boy was, who Rema was, who Omale was. I didn't know.
Well, my little, yeah, that's true.
So, and you have to keep doing that. There's nothing like knowledge don't finish you.
Yeah.
You are learning
You know,
every blessed day. You know the day that you live is like today, Saturday. We've not
yeah.
lived today.
No,
So that means everything that is happening, we're learning it together.
we're learning
And that's
together.
how every day is in the life of a broadcaster.
Lord, Lord, one more. Okay, the very last one now. This is the very last one. Looking back at everything that is going on in your life, what is the one thing that you like to be remembered for?
For me, I just want to be remembered for the life I impacted. That's the most important. The people that carry your torch. No matter how much you've lived, if your torch is not lighting other people's light, then I don't think your life is worth much. The material things we have would just pass. But the people that you invest into will outlive you. And those are the legacies that really make sense to me. Because monuments can actually fade. A statue can break. A building can collapse. A street can be renamed. But the people whose lives you have impacted, they will never, never forget. And that's what folktale in Africa is all about. Passing
Mm,
the story one to another to be able to
mm.
keep the memory going.
Lola, thank you so much. Let me tell you, your session was one of the sessions that I was really, really looking forward to. When I was coming in over my status, I said, I really look up to you a lot, and looking at your story from from
Shower,
Metro, from Lord,
shower.
now
Please.
don't worry about it. And I just think, just to how much you've done, really gives me, the vibe, the inspiration to continue to keep at it with this profession that I have chose to, do in my life. Thank you so much for being a positive impact in my life and to so many other people.
Thank
You are a woman of force. Force, lolo, lolo, one. So that's our session today with Lala. It's been really, really fantastic. Our words of advice has been really, really great, and we hope that you get to learn a lot from it. And if you are really indeed trying to find yourself during these difficult times, and if that's what you're doing, you really should keep at it.